the spiritual ramifications of video games, and I think this is when we're looking at they call the union, if there is, if it's possible, of video games and the faith. There's like the material side, which is what is the game? What is it actually like? Is it Assassin's Creed through the Bible? Bible's got some very crazy stories, and it'd be really cool to to play that out. The flip side, though, is that a lot of these games are kind of like any other form of media. They do involve the imagination, so they are kind of like the devil's playground. And so I think it's easy. I'll give a brief kind of example for myself, and then you could share. Is I was playing GTA 5, and I think this aligned to the time when I was growing more maturely in the faith. And like I can remember I was, you're like running people over with your car because it's funny. And it's just me. Like I wasn't playing online. It's just me. And it's funny. But I can remember like the time I did it, the first time I did it. And I was like, what does God think about that? Like these are
Well,
simulations
yeah.
of his children. So like if someone, I
Whoa.
remember thinking like if I had a child and someone made a virtual version and then they hit him with their car and they thought it was funny, like how do you can't justify that. And so then in the game I started to swerve around people, so it became much more true to life but less fun. And then I would think,
Right.
why is this less fun that I have to be
Mm,
moral? So then I'm like,
mm.
what's
Well,
fun? So it's fun to be immoral. It's fun to utilize my free will to carry out sin with no ramifications. And then I was like, whoa. And that was the point where I stopped playing that game. Red Dead Redemption 2, for anybody who might be aware, made by the same people. I'm not a hypocrite. That game is actually a lot more moral. They expect you're rewarded for acting like a normal human. And they don't let you do immoral acts like with women or anything. It is a lot more. It can be a lot more morally sound. But anyways, that was kind of my like wake up from the Matrix, and I'm like, well, this is going to impact my heart. So what are your thoughts on that? Because I think I saw you shared a story recently where you kind of had something similar happen.
yeah, yeah. That, this is great. Thanks for sharing all that. Those were really awesome thoughts. And I love your question, like, what is fun? Excuse me. Yeah, like I mean, I remember playing GTA 3 and I was probably like 8 or something, and we would play it like every week cuz my uh, it's kind of ironic because we would go to these like Filipino family parties and pray the rosary together. And then after that, we would go downstairs to play GTA 3, and our
Yep.
parents had no idea what we were playing. Um and yeah, it was a similar experience of like, oh, I get to do all these things that I don't wouldn't do in normal life. I want to see what happens. I was very curious, and like doing the illegal thing or the immoral thing was more fun than trying to like drive in these tiny streets with this controller. I mean, admittedly, it's hard to drive well in that game.
Yeah.
So,
I think they do that
but
on purpose.
yeah, exactly. But yeah, it is really interesting. Yeah, so that story I posted a couple weeks ago, I had picked up Persona 5 Royale or Royal. And I had played like a Shin Megami Tensei game before, which is kind of like the same universe. Um and I didn't think that much of it, but that was a few years ago. I picked up this game because, like, it seemed I love turn-based uh, battle systems, and I love a good story. I love getting to explore, and so in this game, you get to like explore downtown Tokyo and um, fight all these monsters and go through this interesting story that about like morality in a sense. It was actually pretty philosophical. But I was more interested in just like getting to explore like this virtual Tokyo. And so all these game reviews were like, rating it pretty highly, like, oh, it's a great game, great gameplay, good story. And so I didn't really think about, um, I didn't think much of it. I picked it up, started playing it, and like, yeah, was immediately met with a lot of just, um, yeah, a lot of graphics that were essentially objectifying women. And the story around it was pretty dark. I won't go much into that, but they were just dealing with a lot of really dark themes. And you are essentially fighting evil in the game, so you're not like committing any immoral acts like you would in GTA. But it was like just the art and the heaviness of what they were talking about was really weighing on me. And I, yeah, I just kind of like, interestingly, after I would put it down, I mean, I didn't play it that much. I would feel like this weight on myself. And so I went to prayer. I was like, Lord, why do I feel this? And he's like, I think it's because of that game. Like, I think you need to get rid of it. I was like, oh my gosh. And the thought of getting rid of that game was like immediate relief.
Hmm.
I was like, wow, okay, I think I need to get rid of this game. Um, and that's the thing about a lot of these game reviews is they're not gonna judge how it will be for your moral health or your spiritual life, your emotional life. They're purely coming from like how is the gameplay standpoint.
Thank you, as always, for listening, for your time. If it was fruitful for you or enjoyable, I ask for your support, that you can like, follow, subscribe based on whatever platform you're on, and that you can share it with others who might also enjoy this conversation. And if you want to support in a more a direct way, a prayer for me, for this initiative, for my family, it is more than I deserve. And if you're called monetarily to support this, I'm also very grateful for that. Thanks so much, and God bless.